Hey, what's going on guys, Strats here and welcome to the very first episode of Last Week in Football. The name may change, so let me know in the comments any suggestions, because it's not the greatest name in the world, but it'll do for now. But what this series is going to consist of is me discussing everything that's gone on within football. It's going to have skits, and it's going to have a lot of other segments. Each episode's going to have around 2 segments, sometimes maybe 1, sometimes maybe 3, if you guys are lucky. Maybe I'll treat you sometimes. But I decided, you know what, it's time to start uploading some real life football videos again, because I love the game, I love football, I love discussing it, so I thought, well, what better place than to put it on this channel for you guys. But today's episode, we've got a good one. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. And the first segment we've got coming up is Strats vs Skills. Let's get into it. So here we go, Strats vs Skills. But first of all, I would just like to say, what a handsome man I am. Just look at my shoulders, look at my hair. I'm such a handsome man. Just look at myself, man. Yes. Okay, enough obsessing over myself. Let's get here for what we're actually meant to be here for. First of all then, here come the 3 warm-up attempts. Let's see what's gonna go down. Attempt number 1 is underway then. Getting a feel of the ball. The hocus pocus is coming up, and that is very, very close. Almost already. Attempt 2, coming up here now. Will I complete it on this one? No, that's just not great. But wait, it's over the line! Goal! Unbelievable! Here comes attempt number 3, goes for it, similar again, but this time it's off the woodwork. Here we go, all the practice, down for this, hyping himself up with a hoodie. He goes for it, and he's done it! He's actually done it, and he's going wild! He can't believe it himself, it's phenomenal! But I'm getting with you, we've got his reaction. Let's get into the clip. How have I just done that straight away then? Well, I'll never know that. It's truly phenomenal. He didn't even know himself how he done it. What an absolute god. Anyway, that is the first ever Strats vs Skills, and it is 1-0 to Strats. Let's go. All I can say is I'm an absolute god at skills. I know, I absolutely killed it. So first of all this week, there was this female footballer who scored quite possibly one of the best goals I think I've ever witnessed. Okay, maybe that's an overstatement. I mean, Zlatan spicy against England was pretty spicy to say the least. But this goal, it was truly phenomenal. Now, I would put a video clip in, but I don't want to risk getting a copyright strike, so I'm going to explain it for you. So what happened was, the goalkeeper took a goal kick, sent it up to the halfway line, and then I believe it was a centre-back. The ball dropped just in front of the halfway line. She ran onto it. First time volley flew right over the keeper. It was truly phenomenal. I fully recommend you guys give it a watch. The link will be in the description. I can do that because I won't get copyrighted. But it was such a good goal. And if you haven't seen it, you need to see it because you're missing out. It was filthy. So Manchester United beat Leicester 2-1. Hey, that's a great start for a team that's meant to be in a crisis. Yeah, wasn't the most convincing performance in the world, but at the end of the day, we got the 3 points. That's all that matters. Now, Fred, he looked pretty good on his debut, not gonna lie. He was, at times, he didn't look too great, but then you could see the quality in him, and he really adds that intensity that United need in their midfield. They need someone who's just got a bit of bite about him, and Fred has that bite. But we started off the season incredibly well, getting a penalty straight away. Paul Pogba then walks up to the ball, buries it in. When that penalty was happening, I was absolutely terrified because you could just see the memes all over Twitter already, but he put it in the back of the net, and he didn't celebrate. Very worrying. But then in the second half, late in the second half, Luke Shaw, a quality bit of skill, completely meant that, of course he did. And then a beautiful finish, but let's be real, it was probably an attempted pass. But he scores his first ever senior club goal in, I believe, 146 games. Not the greatest for your fullback, but nonetheless, so happy for the guy, you know? Just a beast. This year could be his year. Sound like a Liverpool fan saying that, but it could be. Then Leicester go and score, but no one really cares about that. United end up winning the game. But the one thing I am worried about is Paul Pogba and his tweet at the end of the game, and 2, the interview he had. I just hope he stays at Man United for 1 more year. I know Pogba's probably going to leave at the end of the season, maybe even January, maybe even this summer, but I just can't deal with Paul Pogba leaving. He's phenomenal. And some people still are too ignorant to believe that. So Spurs played as well. They won 2-1. Didn't really play great, but are the media going to mention that? Absolutely not, because they love Pochettino. And Harry Kane, he didn't score again. It's August. No one really expects him to score. He did look a bit rusty though, and for some reason, the guy was dropping so deep, he picked the ball up off the back four by the halfway line. Why is he dropping so deep? I don't know if he did this before, but just why is he dropping that deep? He doesn't need to. But in that game, Jan Vertonghen's goal was pretty impressive, to say the least. It was 9mm over the line, his header, which he scored from. That's so close. That is very, very close. But Newcastle, I do feel they were a bit hard done by. But Spurs, at the end of the day, they have the better quality. They held on to it. Newcastle hit the woodwork twice. But yeah, Spurs, they got their 3 points, sadly. So Chelsea played Huddersfield, won 3-0. I mean, Huddersfield aren't really any threat. But the one thing I was impressed with, Jorginho's penalty. He runs up to it. And then he does a little hop and then just rolls it past the keeper. It was beautiful. It genuinely was beautiful. As much as I hate Chelsea, he looks like a quality player, and that pen was just pure filth, to say the least. It was so good. You got his penalty, you got Pogba's penalty. People just love their exotic penalties these days. But that pen, probably better than Pogba's, to be honest. It was filthy. So you also had Gordon Ramsay out and about on the subs bench for Newcastle. I know, that's a dead joke, but Richie, he was pretty mad getting subbed off, to say the least. I mean, his facial expression, he does look like Gordon Ramsay off Kitchen Nightmares. He's just not happy. Someone's got brown bread out instead of white bread. Absolute disgrace. Well, Cardiff, yeah, they're getting relegated, and good. I'm happy they're getting relegated because I'm a Swansea City fan. So Cardiff, please get back down. But they lost. It's obvious. They're going to get relegated. It's obvious. So one thing I don't get is, why is Neil Warnock in charge? Yeah, he got them promoted, but we all know he's probably going to get sacked by Christmas. He always does in the Premier League. The thing with Neil Warnock is, when he gets you promoted, then you may as well sack him. Because in the Premier League, he's useless. He's literally like a fish out of water. Nothing's going to happen, and they're just eventually going to die. Not saying Neil Warnock's going to die. Cardiff are going to die, so yeah, they're getting relegated. Neil Warnock's going to get sacked. Why was he in charge in the first place in the Premier League? Now, I do understand it's a bit bad if you sack a manager, a guy you promoted, but you may as well, to be honest with it. Now, heading over to the Everton and Wolves game. It was a cracking game, 2-2. A very good game. Ruben Neves, phenomenal. His free kick. Jordan Pickford should have saved, to be honest, but it was a good free kick. And then you've also got Richarlison, who had a quality debut. Now, a lot of people doubted him. I'm not one of those. I think he's a really good player, and he was phenomenal that game, to say the least. But the main talking point was Jagielka getting sent off. Now, a lot of people saying, oh, that's not a red card. Well, oh, yes, that is a red card. Studs up onto a guy's ankle. Now, I do understand you've got to go to that tackle, but when you do that, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to getting sent off. And for one, that's a definite goal-scoring opportunity, and he was outside the box. So he could get sent off for that. Please say I explain the rules well, otherwise I'm going to get ripped apart. And also, it was excessive force. He stretched his leg out fully. His leg was fully locked. He went in very, very hard on the guy. And it was a deserving sent off. Now, it was his own fault for miscontrolling it. But when you miscontrol it there, you're doing whatever you can to try and redeem yourself. And by doing that, he went in with too much force. Ended up putting in a bad tackle, got sent off. He deserved it. But also, at the end of that game, Steve McManaman was caught off air slating Wolves, and Wolves fans are not too happy about that whatsoever, and I don't blame them, to be honest, because Steve McManaman was being he seemed very angry towards Wolves throughout the entire game. Now, I thought that's just, I don't know, I just thought he was just being, a bit salty, but apparently he has hatred for Wolves, and I don't know why. I don't think anyone knows why. But it was really embarrassing, to say the least. Now moving down to the Championship, and we're talking about my local team, Swansea City. Got a 1-0 win against Preston, undefeated in the Championship so far. Will it last? No, it will not last. But the one thing I don't get is we have one senior centre-back. We sold every other senior centre-back. We've got one. Van der Hoorn, who isn't even that good. We sold every other one and didn't replace them. Our board is an absolute joke, and it's only a matter of time until Van der Hoorn gets injured and we're playing fullbacks at centre half. It is something really needs to happen here. Our owners are killing this club. They were the reason we got to the Premier League. Now they're just ripping everything apart with this club, and it's a joke. But we did win, so there's always some positives, I guess. But one place where there's definitely a negative right now, Derby got battered by Leeds. Now, they were quite fortunate the week before against Reading, scoring a very late goal to win the game, but now they come up against a decent Leeds side and get turned over 4-1. I think Frank Lampard's going to find it quite difficult, and to be honest, I don't think he's going to last the season as manager. Losing 4-1 to Leeds, it isn't great. Leeds are going to be contending for the playoffs most likely. Same with Derby. You don't want to get beat 4-1 by a team you're meant to be close to, and it's not the greatest result in the world to say the least. Frank Lampard, he's got quite a lot of work on his hands. Coming back to the Premier League, because why not? I started on the Premier League, went to the Championship, now it's back to the Premier League again. Why not? It's my series, I do what I want. I know, such a rebel, such a bad man. That is so cringy. But Liverpool, they won. West Ham were abysmal. Their defending was atrocious. They look the exact same as last year. Now, I know it takes time for a new manager to sort things out there, but I don't get, one, why they were playing Declan Rice CDM. The guy's meant to be a centre-back. Now, I don't know much about West Ham, so if you're a West Ham fan, feel free to educate me, but you still got Mark Noble in your team, man. That guy's ancient now, and the defence, it looked terrible. Felipe Anderson looked decent, but West Ham, they were just awful that game. Liverpool did play well. Sturridge sadly scored on his first touch, and now people are already saying he's better than Lukaku for some reason. People said that about Lacazette last year and Morata. Now look at both of them compared to Lukaku. You're saying it about Sturridge. There's only one place that's going to end up for him, and that's probably going back on loan to West Brom. But because of that result, Liverpool fans think they're definitely going to win the league, and it's very annoying. It really is. Not going to lie though, I was saying that last year when Man United beat West Ham 4-0 on the opening day of the season. So I guess they're doing the exact same. Literally. 4-0, they're doing the exact same. And finally, Arsenal lost to City. Now, City didn't look great. They were time wasting in around the 58th minute, and there's something they didn't do last year. They didn't look great when Arsenal put pressure on them. The defence looked vulnerable. Ederson made a few mistakes, but Arsenal's quality, they just weren't that good. Mkhitaryan didn't have a good game. Their shooting wasn't great. Their touches wasn't great. If I was a better team than Arsenal, City were in trouble. But one thing that was clear from that game is Petr Cech is past it, and he should probably consider retirement soon. The guy was a quality keeper. He still is fairly decent, but for a team like Arsenal, no he's not. First of all, the Sterling shot, in my opinion, he should have saved it. I've read up, and quite a few people seem that way as well, but then you got some people saying that he shouldn't have saved it. Now, in my opinion, he should have, and a better keeper would have. So already, they're 1-0 down. But that's not even the worst part about what Petr Cech did. They were in the game, quite early on in the game as well. He got the ball passed back to him, a simple pass he could have made out of the defence. He tried passing the ball and passed it backwards and almost scored one of the worst own goals I think I've ever witnessed. The ball literally just went wide past the post. It was embarrassing, and it's quite sad seeing what Petr Cech's decline has become. It really is quite sad. The guy's just not great anymore. He can't pass to save his life. Anyway, that is it for the football discussion. Now we've got another segment, which is known as the Forgettable Fan. Name could change, but let's get into Forgettable Fan Liverpool edition. You know what? This year's our year. This year is our year that we're going to win the league. We're going to win it. We're going to win the league. Yes. Come on. Mo Salah! Ah! Mo Salah! Ah! See, well, the main talking point is you should be looking at our net spend and not our total spend, because net spend's important too. You know, we're still spending the Coutinho money too. It's money invested wisely, if you ask me. We got, 140 mil for the guy. We signed Van Dijk, signed Keita, signed Fabinho, signed Alisson. That's all under 140 mil, right? No? Okay, it doesn't matter. That's still the Coutinho money. You forgot add-ons. You forgot the sponsorship Arsenal are going to get. You forgot all of that. Still counts for it, my friend. Well, did you know, if you got rid of
all the other 19 teams in the league last year, we would have won the Premier League. We're basically champions. Who cares about Man United? They finished second. We're basically the champions here. Get rid of everyone else. We win the league. So this year, it is our year. You know, Ramos, he deserves a jail sentence. Alright, the guy should be thrown in jail. What he did just shouldn't be on a football pitch. It's not like the week before Mo Salah tried uppercutting a West Brom player. No, he's too nice. He's a nice guy. He wouldn't do that. Ramos deserves to be in jail. Cynical. Absolutely cynical. And I'm going to keep going on about it until we win the Champions League again. Which is probably going to be never, if I'm being realistic. But if I'm being the biased, deluded Liverpool fan, this is our year in the Champions League. Who will snap up the treble? Well, he's a very passionate manager, and I just love the way he goes boom. I love it. Just say it with me. Boom. 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 I want you in my room. Jurgen Klopp, I want you in my room, my friend. Boom. Yes. Boom, boom, boom. Come on. Upper edge.
Always interesting hearing of those Liverpool fans. Am I right? Now don't worry, if you're a Liverpool fan, there will be one base for pretty much every team in the top 6. So I'm not just slaughtering your fan base. I just thought it'd be the best one to start off with because you did win and you are top of the league. So don't get too salty. There will be a United one where I will rip myself. Don't you worry. Now anyway, let's get on to the segment that's going to be on every single episode. Can we get a drum roll, please? It is Muppet of the Week. This is where I will pick my Muppet of the Week. And the very first one, the honourable first mention, Hugh Jenkins, Swansea City's chairman. He's an absolute joke. We started the season off with one senior centre-back because we sold the rest. He deserves this week's Muppet of the Week. Now, if you have any other Muppets of the Week, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know who you thought was the Muppet of the Week. Now, Mike Ashley was a close second for buying the House of Fraser and spending more on that than what he did on Newcastle. But because this was based on my club, slightly biased towards it. Anyway, be sure to drop a like on this video. Let me know if you did enjoy this episode, and let me know if you're looking forward to the rest of the episodes in this series. I'm hoping to make them as good as possible for you guys. There will be different segments each and every week. I'm sure you guys will enjoy. But anyway, until next time, have a nice day, and I'm out. Adios.